River, no.
So we gather here with our commitment to time travel. Anywhere that we need to be taken to be the voice of discernment and authority in the removal of outsiders, dominating outsiders. We gather on the sacred ground of sovereignty within the vortex energy of the guardian circle. We put around our circle and each one of us many, many, many miles out that shield of incarnated beings who are looking for their way to the next stage of light. Any of those type beings who are needing help as we gather, we put that shield in place so that they can gently be moved to the light home for them. And keep that guardian circle protocol right down the midline of our body, extending out close to us. We call in the energy of Gaia, Mother Earth. And all of that is her creation. The trees, the crystals, the lands, the waters, the air, the fire. That on this earth there is the anchoring of sovereignty and restoration to light. We know that we have beings, multiple teams in the spiritual worlds that are participating with us very actively and consistently in this mission. And we call for clear channels for their guidance and voice to us as we meet. Enclose this planet Earth in the guardian circle. And that energy encompass every quanta, every particle within our earthly experience. But we move quickly and gently and effectively through this transition of clearing outsiders to their home. That we move quickly, that all good be preserved, all love be expanded. Our circle is set for with that intention, with that help, connection to the greater plan, opened, and so it is. Okay, so let's put ourselves into the circle with whatever, quality, etc. you might want to add, and then we'll share what's emerging or what has emerged. So Sharon Raji Maynard on Whidbey Island, Washington State. And I want to bring into the circle insight. Tina.
This is Tina Ray from Portland, Oregon. And what I want to bring in today is, I don't know why this word has come up, but discernment. Oh, and I'm going to pick
Kelly here in Portland, Oregon, and what I'm wanting to bring in is the power and regalness of the lion in its mane, the lion. Ooh, I will thank you.
I'm Sue Rooney from Issaquah. Well, right now I'm in Kent. And I think it's time for all of us to claim our power. So I acknowledge the goddess in each of you and ask you to claim it. And what I'm bringing to the circle is calm, because my power lies in my calm. When I'm anxious, I am not available for anything. When I'm calm, then I am listening to my intuition, and I'm connected to my guidance. So it's a totally different place from being any form of fear, and anxiety is my big one. So calm. Good morning, all you goddesses. Cinda.
I'm in Westland, Oregon, just south of Portland. And spent a week and a very long weekend in Idaho, road trip there and back for a wonderful family gathering. Anyway, I'd like to bring truth and honesty into the circle and sharing.
Okay, here we are back again. Okay. So let's just go around, and I've already shared before we even started kind of what was on my heart and mind. So what might be up for each of you in relationship to just your life, or in relationship to possibly putting something in the circle for our travel? Even if we may not go there, it'll still be impacted. Kelly, you want to start?
I'm really not sure, to be quite frank. Yeah, I'm really not quite sure. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm not really sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass. And if somebody can circle back to me at the end, that would be perfect. Thank you. So Tina, I will take you.
I've actually felt a little bit along those same lines. One of the things that's been coming up is I've been diving into 26 years of shiatsu training notes and all that, and defining what I want to keep and what I want to let go. And I think that's true for all aspects of my life, my dreams. Of when I've been focused, I've been able to create, I've been able to move forward. And something I read today is that sometimes it's not that we're stuck, it's that we're getting ready to run. We're getting ready to take off. So it made me think of revving the, oops, I lost you. Oh, it went away. It's like revving the engine when you're at the light or at the stop sign. It's like deciding which way to go. And that's the way I've been feeling, is that I'm trying to decide which way to go, because there's wonderful directions. And yeah, it's deciding which way to go. What is my guidance? And without getting in the way of what that guidance is. So, and I'll pick Sue.
Thank you, Tina. So it's been an amazing week again. I'm watching people change. And here at the house, what I'm fascinated with is they're finding ways to redirect the kids instead of punishing them like we do when children are 2 years old. And it's amazing. I just absolutely love it. Where this started from, that everything had to be a punishment, is so detrimental. So this has been interesting. And then the other thing was that after Mondays, no, it's 2:22 a.m. Monday morning, I had this amazing vision of when we reach our true ultimate power, higher self. I got to see it. And my first fear was, oh my God, we're going to blow our bodies up. We don't blow our bodies up. We have been preparing for this. When we step into our power, we are bright. This is what I saw. Somebody else may see it differently. I saw our bodies as the bright light of lightning, just intense white light. And then the feeling was this amazing wisdom and love. And then it started to fade because I was afraid it was going to melt my body. But afterwards, the feeling was, it's okay. It's okay. This is what's coming. And that was really exciting. So then the question was, do you need time out? And I said, I am already getting time out and time away from the house. I'm going to my son's, so I have a time out. I'm going to have time to myself. I'm going to have time for everything I want. I'm okay. And within that day, I was headed to my son's for Easter. I saw a car come right at me, and it came right to the middle line. And I didn't swerve or do anything because something inside of me knew that was my opportunity to have a timeout. And that's happened so many times to me. So I just kept on driving. I wasn't upset. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't angry because I knew it wasn't going to hit me. So I've made some kind of a decision. There is things are falling into place. That's all I know. Everything is an unknown. It's a total unknown, and that's okay. I'm just going to trust it. But it's been a roller coaster ride getting here. So yeah, I want to keep working on removing all the dark forces, all the dark energies, so that we can truly step into the power we can't even imagine. And Cinda.
Oh, what joy. Where to begin? Where to begin? I don't know. I'm right with Kelly. I'm like, I'm along for the ride today. I'm grateful to be in Circle. I've missed the last few classes and groups. I'm just grateful to be among peers. I feel like, as incredible as it was to be with family, I am, glad to be home again and with my peers. My dog has caught kennel cough, and she's really sick and hacking up and having trouble breathing. I mean, she's on antibiotics now, but so we haven't been sleeping very well the last couple nights because she's gagging. But the doctors aren't worried. It seems to just be typical. we're also babysitting my son's little dog. Excuse me, she's not little, she's just younger than my dog, and it's supposed to be highly contagious. So they had to have caught it together, but I'm sure we'll be blamed. So they come home tomorrow, their dog's not sick yet. Their dog is probably going to get sick. I hope not. And that won't be a pleasant thing for us to experience I don't know, they're overprotective parents. Anyway, so yeah, I wish I had something more to say. I am swimming in the Easter energy of resurrection. I've been swimming with I'm taking a Andrew Harvey class on the real life Jesus, which is so spectacular. And he's reading a lot from the Book of Thomas. I don't know if you call it a book, but they found the scrolls in 1945 and they were complete and full, and they tell a whole different story of Jesus than anything else that's in the Bible that had been admitted. And it's so I'm kind of swimming in that. I'm hoping that that'll be something that carries me on my time travel today. All right, enough of that ramble. Sharon.
Kelly, we're circling back.
My keyboard stopped working for a moment. So yes, okay. So a couple things. First of all, yes, my dog is also very sick with kennel cough, very sick. He's had kennel cough times before and they've treated, and he's been able to treat himself. I mean, he's gone through it before, but this time I don't think. So there's something in the air. So tell them that my dog is sick too. It's going around. But what I wanted to bring in, and this is really interesting, and I've been really kind of processing it, we are so powerful, Sue. We know we are so powerful. We see so much in advance. And if we could understand that sight, and I'm learning through my years now that when I see things, they come to be. I mean, the gift of that sight, and whatever that is, it's a feeling and intuition, that womanly, I got it, So when I first moved here and I started going to this dog park, I said, I'm going to be able to go to this dog park for a certain amount of time, and then I'm going to have to shift because I'm going to have a challenge with this person and this person and this person. I remember a car driving into the apartment complex and a gentleman pulled out and I said, oh, I'm going to have a challenge with this person. This person is going to start making unwanted advances, things like this. So all those things have come to fruition in the last week and a half. And I'm like, oh, I saw this, I'm not inviting it in, but I knew it. So I was prepared for it. But now I'm looking at it like going, okay, so what do I do now? How do I do this? Well, looking at a pattern for myself. Do I run from it? Do I face it head on? I just know the truth, right? I knew the truth before it happened. And so now I'm seeing it. And so now I'm at that point of, okay, now I've got to start to manage it. Before you see it, now I have to manage it. So how can I see it in the future and not have to get to a point to have to manage it? Does that make sense? I'm like, how can I energetically shift it before it happens so I don't have to ever get to the point of management? I guess it's kind of what I'm thinking. So that's where I'm at. And health to all creatures out there, are for all the four-legged creatures that have kennel cough in the Portland area. All right.
Are you asking for ideas, Kelly?
Of course, I am always open in this space of community for ideas and suggestions.
When you look at the law of manifestation and you look at the fact that there's a reason we're sensitive as females, we're sensitive as females, so we know what is in the field. And so some are sensitive enough that they will know something's in the field, in that from that spiritual frequency or emotional frequency. It hasn't manifested yet, but it's there, it's vibrating, it's in the field.
Mhm.
Some of us don't feel it at that level. Some of us might not feel it until we get it as maybe a memory down in the mental body. But it's been in the field. Well, it's been in the field since the galactic, but so those who are sensitive can sense it, something's in the field way before it manifests in physical form. If it's not removed from the field, it will manifest in form. And so if you are getting so when you get a sense of something, and we call it a premonition, it's only telling you that something's in the field. And do you have, the question I ask you, what do you have in your toolbox to address and pull that out of the field so it never manifests and you never have to manage it? So for
Makes
example, Sue was a good example of that. She sensed her words, so it wasn't just a sensation. Often our sensations, we just kind of blow them off and think that's intuition, or it's just like premonition, and so we do nothing about it. But really, we're intended to be able to say, oh, do I want it or not? And she was asked, do you want time out? Do you need time out? Right? But it's the same principle in an intuitive frequency language. The next question is, this is here, do you want it? And you go like, whoa, I don't want it. Then what do you have in your toolbox to address it? Because it's in the field, but it's in your field. You can disconnect it from you. You can heal it, change it within you. It might still be in the field, going around, and it will, that kind of behavior will manifest in someone's life, but it doesn't have to be your life. So that's, and I've had a similar experience too, like driving along and coming to a four-way stop, and the thought, well, what would happen if that car didn't stop? And I could see the whole thing, and immediately, like, no, not in my life. And if all I had time to do in that moment is say, absolutely not, deep six till the energy dissipated, and
So,
spoke to it.
so I have a question. Yes. And I see that. And I see myself twirling like, one of those big fireball things when you're like in the Game of Thrones, like throwing these things out of my field. That's what I do. And I'm grabbing these things and throwing them out.
Mhm.
So I was aware of these things. So anytime I had an interaction, like I was immediately like, no, we're done. I don't need this. But it's persistent. So either I'm not doing it the right way.
No, you need deeper tools is all. You just need to, like, you've got the hammer.
Right.
And the hammer works for a lot of things, but the hammer isn't enough for something. So you do the hammer first. So I do deep six first, but and that may be sufficient. But if it still niggles, then I do a soul integration, or I do a discreation, or I get other tools out.
Sure. Of course. Okay. Yeah.
Because the seed, the only reason the seed is, it's there because by law it has to tell you it's there, and it doesn't say I have to manifest. I don't have to cause an accident and take you out. It's just there to say I'm there, and so if it doesn't go away with this tool, then add this tool. And it's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because some are multi-layered, and you might need several tools. So you do it, and then you do it until there isn't anything there.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm on it.
I know you are.
I'm on it. Thank you.
Oh my God, Kelly, I just want to scream enough already. What the fuck? God, I'm so freaking tired of that for you. That's it, just for you. Having been with you and seeing this, I'm just like, oh, screaming at the universe for you as your friend.
Well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to continue to refine that so that the next, I'm so eager. I love this work because I'm always eager to take it to that next level, to shut that door and be done with it and recognize it and keep on deepening. So I'm so grateful for this conversation. So grateful. Thank you.
It's true for all of us. We live in this world.
Yeah.
Manifest.
Kelly, I wanted to add something to that. One of the things that I have done is when I sense that energy, that unwanted energy from somebody else, of being able to, not even with a lot of energy, but pull my energy back, putting up an energetic shield. And it's almost like, even though I might have my feet next to each other, it's as energetically I have one foot behind me and one foot in place, so that I am stable in a different way. And I don't even take on their energy in any way, shape, or form. I don't even like going, oh, this person is, somebody not to be around. It shortens that signal. And so they don't even bother. They just kind of disappear out of your field because there's no stimulation of energy where they feel like they have to come forward to be heard. And it's been whenever I've done that, and it's not even necessarily, it's not a conscious thing, it just happens. And I've been able to protect myself and step back from that energy. And when it happens, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that, Tina, and I get that completely, but I want to walk fully in the world as I am.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to show up as who I am without having to put up those barriers, because that's how I've walked in the world my entire life. Well, I'm kind of done with that. I'm done with that storyline. And I want to be able to walk in and do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it, and negate right then and there. And that's my goal. It's like, boom, okay, I got it. Boom, you're done, you're done, you're done, you're done. Whatever that is, throw it out, hurling out, step. And I completely understand and appreciate that offering. I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to come into any space with a shield. I think we all can feel that way. I don't want to walk into a room with a shield anymore. I really don't. I know that we have it, but I don't want to do it anymore. Does that make sense? It's that lion energy. It's that lioness energy. I just want to walk proudly into a room and into a space, regardless of what's in that space, and know that, hey, this is a good space. I'm in a good place, and I don't have to be mindful of everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's the difference is, in this time that we're living in, there is enough tools that we can eliminate the resonance in us, where before we didn't have the depth of authority that we have now. And we did have to survive by shielding, or I was talking to a woman the other day, and she was in this relationship. She said, I'm going to cut the cords. I said, do not cut the cords. She said, well, why? I said, you get the sword out and you put it up to heaven and you connect to the power source. And then you pull whatever it is, you heal what's in you as the energy goes and keeps the energy going out. What can be healed in the other is fine. But it's like, it's a form, what I realized in that moment, it's a form of gaslighting on our part. It's a form of saying you're the problem and not taking responsibility. And that's what a narcissist does. A narcissist will hear, this is my experience, and when you do this, this is how I feel. And the narcissist will walk away going like, you're the problem. That's gaslighting. And all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, cutting the cords, assuming that by cutting the cords, we are then okay. First of all, we got the cords in us too, but it's not taking it to the level that says, I carry those seeds to which the resonance is drawn. I am broadcasting for that. I am broadcasting and drawing it to me. And we, in this day and time, have enough knowledge that and authority that we can say, oh, there's another one, and here's ours, here's mine, here's mine, here's mine. And then we walk in the world without any of our own energy going out to attract what we don't want, because we are, if you will, managing the energy here. So there might be times that in that moment you've got to put up a shield, but don't let it stay at the shield. Then you go like, okay, when I get home, I'm gonna see what that's about. It's like they're all valuable tools, but the ultimate is not missing the message that I carry it. And if you have to just freeze frame it, shield it for a time till you have more alone time to find out what is within you that drew it to you, it's a perfect tool. It's an expansive toolbox. Thanks, you guys. Okay. We'll see where we're taken today. So we are here in our physical bodies. My dog's barking, no kennel cough. Just get a sense of that energy field being disrupted sometimes. That's okay. Let that disruption occur. Put that disruption into the field. As we hold our clear intent, disruption does not continue. It only stirs up to be cleared, stirs up to be cleared. And we are standing in this moment of time with the clarity and the authority voice and the sisterhood and the roots into the earth to stand firm and firm, to speak into the entire 64 dimensions of life. So we speak in behalf of ourselves, and we speak in behalf of those who are not stable enough yet. We hold them in our love and in our clarity. And our stand is zero tolerance for domination outsiders. They are extinct throughout the galaxy. They have returned to their homes to reframe, to re-agendize into good. And we are present with our teams, connected to that greater plan. They holding what it is for us to be, do, hear, declare in this moment. And we show up with them. And wherever we need to journey, we go with them safely, lightly. We know them, they know us, and we are here. They will help us return in good order, refreshed and rejuvenated. So we are ready. Go in great love and peace. Okay, looks like we're back. Kelly, you want to go first?
Sorry, my Alt tab is no longer working for my microphone. Yeah, so what I was basically working with were the elements, working with every aspect, the fire, the water, the earth, the wind. And within that, watching how flames shift with the introduction of each of those elements. So in my mind's eye, I was shown a candle, which of course is the flame, but then introducing all these various aspects, but watching how the candle reflected that energy as a mirror. So the candle was showing me the wind, the candle, the flame, and the candle was showing me the wind, how the water looked, how how earth looked, all within the flame. So working with that fire energy and the transmutation of all things that are no longer have never been in alignment or of not of our highest and best good, and just working within that alchemical space. So it was just a myriad, a dance of numbers, of fractals, of reflection within the candle, but of the elements, and showing me just how things morph within the aspect of each of those pieces. But having the candle or the flame as the mirror was really interesting, because the candle itself, the flame was still, and I knew it was fire, but it wasn't that crackling fire. It was purely a mirror for everything else. So just working with that vision and what it is showing me. And then I pulled up The Dawn of the Sixth Sun, which is a book, The Path of the Quetzalcoatl, and reading, which I've not been in this book for quite some time, but when I pulled it up, it automatically took me to the elements, which I didn't realize. I mean, I read this book many, many years ago, but I didn't realize, of course, every what is the word I'm looking for? Culture works within the elements from way back, to the dawn of time, but interesting to be pulled to that and see what it has to say. So that's where I'm at in this space. So,
I just realized you said my name. I was I was going someplace else. So I really asked for what I was supposed to know, where I was supposed to be guided. And at first I was seeing part of the visions I've had before during time travel of being in the mountains and being guided by the elephant. And I essentially said, I know there's more to this. I need more definition of this vision. And I was given a beautiful cloak that made me think of wings of a bird, but then it showed, which has this amazing strength and vibrance, but then it was as if I turned into a butterfly before it opens, that, where there's that building up the energy. And so I there again asked what that message was. And it says you need to be at the point of nurturing so that you can open up and take flight. And then we showed really being told that while I've been looking at this direction or that direction and looking at my shiatsu practice and my art, of that there is another layer or direction to the work I've been doing. And I've been pulling back from that guidance, and it's to really step into that. and feeling, really stepping into the energetic qualities of the work that I do, of really that sense of not working deeply physically, but working more deeply energetically, and really being able to connect on a cellular level, and that each cell is part of the entire chakra. So each cell contains all the chakras, not just the ones we talk about, but the extended chakras. And that is where the real change will happen, is by connecting to that energy and allowing each individual I'm working with to connect to their own energy in a way that really expands them and heals them on levels, past life, in current life, in ways that they don't see or understand. And that transmuting that we've talked about, that helps with the healing of everybody else, because everybody is their own version of that butterfly that's closed up, and they need the assistance to open up and discover where they're meant to fly as well. And it was just this sense of shifting and changing, and truly asking for guidance and showing me ways that I have blocked that energy or blocked that guidance that I've been shown, and to really allow that guidance to really take hold and to be shown. And it's really that sense of stepping into a new space, new energy, in ways that I haven't. There's other aspects of that, but that's the beginning, is to really continue to let go what I do not need, because that holds me back in the past. And by stepping forward, it allows me to create new paths as opposed to holding on to the old ones. So I am complete. Cinda.
Holding space for you too. So I'm so ready for the next thing in my life. I'm so ready for the next thing in my life. So I sat there and I said, show me the next thing in my life. What is it when you count your whatever? And I'm just like, oh my God. So I was immediately taken back into the desert, plopped down in the middle of the desert all by myself, tumbleweeds everywhere. And I'm like, I'm maybe 8 years old. I don't know what era, kind of look down, not modern day. And I look around and I'm like, where am I? Why am I here? What are you doing? Am I all alone? Nothing. So I just start walking and I just start walking. I'm this little girl. I'm picking wildflowers, even though there's no wildflowers. It's a freaking desert, but I'm trying to do something because I'm so like, why am I here? Where is everybody? I come to a cave-ish pile of rocks, sit down. Now I'm thirsty. Now it's hot. And I'm like, did I do something wrong? Am I gonna be able to get out of here? What the F? Except I'm 7 years old. I don't know that word yet. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay. Sitting on a rock, waiting. Now I'm bored. Now I'm crying. Now I want my mom. Now I want my dad. Now I'm crying, help. How do I get home? Where do I go? I'm crying. This. man in a robe appears. Obviously I had an attitude. I look up at him and I'm like, yeah. And he goes, just sit and be quiet and the answers will come. And I'm like, I've been sitting. I've been quiet since 2014, except it's not 2014. Like, what? Give me the freaking answers already. Anyway, sit and be quiet and the answers will come. That's all I kept saying. Sit and be quiet, the answers will come. And I think I fell asleep, or I don't know, in real life, then I'm meditating, I don't know, whatever. And then I wake up, open my eyes, he's still there. He turns around, walks away, looks over his shoulder like, are you coming? And I'm like, okay. So I ran to keep up with him. And I realized he'd come out of the cave. He was in the cave the whole time, probably pissed that I was interrupting his solitude. This little 7-year-old demanding attention. And it might have been Jesus, might have not. He didn't introduce himself. I don't know. He was lovely. And also last night, my husband and I watched that movie with Tom Hanks and that girl, that little girl that he saves. And I don't know if you've seen the previews. It's a beautiful movie. And, you know, she was all by herself and he becomes her savior. And anyway, so maybe there's a little bit of that. So when he says, sit and be quiet and the answers will come, I all of a sudden, I'm not her anymore. I'm observing and I see her get really quiet and calm down. And she's sitting there in complete solitude and I see her thoughts, her help, her thoughts rise like smoke out of the top of her head. And so I could see that prayers are heard, prayers are answered. And then when either she fell asleep or I fell asleep and we melded again anyway. Yeah, so she woke up and yeah, I loved it. He looks over his shoulder and like, are you coming? I'm like, oh, okay. So anyway, yeah, that was it. Sue.
You reminded me, Cinda, that half a lifetime ago, I was told, be still. Oh my God, no, I just forgot. I think it was the same thing, be still and the answers will come. And it's taken all this time to become completely committed to meditation. And that has brought in a whole lot more information. Just could not sit still for meditation. So in my meditation this time, I went back into being on the road and watching the black car come at me and not reacting. And I sat with that. And then I remembered a long time ago, laying in bed, reading and being told, release the anxiety or watch your heart burst. And I said, okay. I released the anxiety and then waited to see what would happen. Well, I'm here. It didn't happen. And I've seen a couple of, I saw really I was given a choice, and then I saw the cars that would have been in the fatal freeway accident. It would have been fatal for me and I think for others, and it didn't happen. I saw the car swerve, and again, nothing happened. And then I saw another one. I saw a vision in early adulthood of me being decapitated in a car accident. One day on the freeway a couple years ago, I saw that accident in my mind, but it didn't happen. And so what I was reminded of in this meditation was that when I make the decision not to participate from a place of what I call calm, there is no human emotion involved, then I do not get involved on the physical level, which has reminded me how involved I am with emotionally reacting to so many things. Not everything, but so many things. And every time I do, my allergies are bad. And allergies are reacting to my environment on a physical level. And no matter what I have taken in the past, it never got rid of it. So I'm not taking much of anything this time around, and it's been constant for 6 months. So the message is stop reacting and investing in a human outcome and take it to the higher level, which is where my decisions are. So I just got to be reminded and my message reinforced that for me, if I focus on the physical, I'm going to get more physical experiences. And if I just enjoy my life in the physical world, but manage things on the spiritual level, which I call the frequency of 500 and above, then I get to stay in that calm. And that's where my power is. My power is in this state, what I call calm. So I guess that's what I'll sit with for this next week and let that expand. And I need to create a comfort zone around it. Because then I can also see what needs to be removed. I'm not reacting to it, and I'm not trying to change it. I'm just turning it over to the higher frequencies. So that's what I saw today. And I'm complete. Back to Sharon. Thank you.
So I've been struggling with a situation that I thought ought to be this way. And I knew I had some papers here that kind of outlined and gave direction, and I can't find the papers. I couldn't find them in my computer, couldn't find them in my stacks. I couldn't find them anywhere. I've just been like, do you guys know what's supposed to happen here? And they said, we know. I said, okay, well, I'm going to look for my papers. And I've been looking for my papers. Looking for my papers, and clear up until the time we started this call, these papers are here somewhere. Do you know what we're supposed to do? We know. Okay, well, I'll look for my papers. So as soon as I, started the journey, they said, trust us. Trust us. I said, is that what it is for me right now? Yes, trust us. But I wrote it down, trust us. I don't know if I'll get it the next time. Trust us. So my thing was about, okay, I'm going to trust you. I did, I don't know. I wrote it down. Oh, it was weird. So it was sitting in the trust. I say, okay, I'm going to let go of knowing what I knew when I wrote it down. That evidently, it might be right, it might be wrong. I don't know. And I'm going to trust. And so what I did is just sat and said, okay, you tell me. Okay, I'll write what you tell me. And that's what I got. So it was more like, specific for me, but was trust. Okay, so here we are. There's a lot of good, expansive for all of us today. Let's just be in our circle, letting the vibrations magnify through these bodies so that they can be the message, the infuser of the network on this planet, calling in then, as we do, the greater knowledge to augment it and show us the way. Maybe that's like be the calm, huh? So we magnify and expand and give thanks for all of that is here in this field. And with clear intention and love and blessing, we send it out through the Tesla towers to surround and broadcast back onto the earth ongoingly. Once those codes are held within those towers, we can now let go of this circle. It will be here for us when we meet again. So it is. Okay, unmute everybody.
So Sharon, in the class that I'm taking about from Jesus,
Yeah.
This English mystic Andrew Harvey is teaching it, and he says one of the things that he says is we need to undo and release all that we know in order for the new to come in. So if we hold on tightly to everything we know, or we assume that we know, that in a way we're creating a shield. So it seems like you're receiving that same message. Let go of that which you know and your need to control, because we got something else that's going to come in, and your need to control and your need to know how whatever. And I just thought, oh, okay. So it's I don't know. I think that's funny, interesting that I just heard that this morning, and you're saying almost the same thing. You're being told the same thing.
Yeah, it makes me think of me just hearing of like the paths that you've been following may not be the paths you're supposed to follow, and just open yourself up to the guidance that's already been there. And how much we block ourselves sometimes from that guidance. Go like, are you sure that's the way I'm supposed to go? I don't know. I don't know if that's the right path. And just being open to letting go what we do not need and our old, everything that we thought we knew, and open up for the new.
The other thing that really struck me was when Kelly was talking about managing. And when I try to manage things on the human level, they don't go well. And when I make a decision and let those in the higher frequencies manage it, I think that's why I was seeing today is that the accidents don't happen. The bad experiences don't happen. I just have to make that core decision. I don't want to participate. Now, if I could just do it for my allergies, I would be so happy.
You got kennel cough, Sue.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Well, welcome to the world of Rogue and River, our dog. We got the kennel cough going. I think it is probably allergies. It's probably the plum trees or cherry trees blooming that's really triggering them. Oh.
Okay, well, what a wonderful way to start the day. Take it through the week. So,
I'm just so grateful that Sue, that you are safe and that you're with us, and that near miss, and that you were actually able to witness it. What are those chances to actually be aware of the
near
prayer and the outcome, witnessing
Mhm.
the outcome?
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Mhm. Very much so.
Okay. Until we meet again. Lots of
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody.
blessings.
you.
You all.
Blessings to
Bye.
you. Bye.